Come on. Buddy, anyone here?
Footage shows an unnamed trooper arrive on the scene moments after a semi-truck, the bus, and 3 other vehicles collided. The trooper can be heard shouting if they got anyone out, then grab a fire extinguisher and ran toward the bus. Moments later, firefighters arrived and helped put out the flames. The crash occurred November 14th and killed 3 students, 2 parent chaperones, and a teacher. The National Transportation Safety Board is still investigating the incident.
The Gallia County Local School District is facing a lawsuit over allegedly failing to report the sexual abuse of students. The lawsuit claims district employees and administrators failed to report sexual abuse and misconduct by a former cheerleading coach, Paige Huck, for more than a decade. The lawsuit also accuses Huck's husband of allegedly knowing and assisting in the misconduct. Paige Huck was indicted on 6 counts of unlawful sexual misconduct with a minor and now faces up to 30 years behind bars. Huck's trial is scheduled to begin on December 12th. The Ohio Supreme Court says new district maps, which were approved unanimously by the Ohio Redistricting Commission, will stand. The new maps give Republicans a 62% advantage in the House and almost a 70% advantage in the Senate. The decision was expected as Republican Chief Justice Maureen O'Connor couldn't run for re-election. O'Connor joined Democrats in striking down legislative maps 5 times last year. The ruling puts the new maps in place until 2030, unless an amendment backed by O'Connor to replace the Redistricting Commission is approved by voters next year.
Over half of Ohio Democrats have signed onto a bill to protect marriage in Ohio. The bill was introduced before Thanksgiving and will provide protections to both same-sex and interracial marriage. Although same-sex marriage was legalized in Ohio in 2015, a 2004 amendment to the Constitution still remains that marriage can only be between a man and woman. Democrats first announced that they plan to bring this bill forward in October, but hoped it would remain to be bipartisan. The bill was introduced on November 16th with 18 Democratic sponsors. This Thanksgiving holiday saw the fewest number of deaths on Ohio roadways since 2018, according to a new report from the Ohio State Highway Patrol. Just 8 deaths were reported, coming from 7 crashes during the Wednesday to Sunday window, down from 19 deaths in 2022 and 17 in 2021. Notably, in the department's report, distracted driving incidents were up from 2022, with 181 reported this Thanksgiving season. This is an increase of nearly 83% from this last year. Athens County had the most incidents in southeast Ohio with a total of 222. The State Highway Patrol reports it helped over 1,500 drivers during the holiday weekend.
In Athens County, 2 incumbents are seeking a 3rd term. Charlie Atkins as commissioner and Rodney Smith as sheriff. Yesterday, the pair of Democrats filed their paperwork at the Athens County Board of Elections. Candidates seeking to run under party affiliation must file their declaration by December 20th. December 27th, the Board of Elections will meet to clarify the candidates' petitions for March 19th primary. The week-long deer gun hunting season is underway across the state. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources reports this year's opening day harvest totals just under 20,000 deer. Compared to last year's opening day, hunters took around 17,000 in 2022. The 3 counties with the most deer harvest were Coshocton, Tuscarawas, and Muskingum. Ohio residents and non-residents, have bought nearly 3,500,000 permits this year. You can still buy a permit at licensed vendors, the quote Hunt Fish app, or visit wildohio.org. Ohio's 7-day gun season is open until this Sunday, and a 2-day gun season December 16th through December 17th will open.
Athens, currently here, we are seeing a high temperature of 24 degrees with overcast skies with calm winds today. But we are seeing our first freezing temperatures of this season for as high temperatures. But these overcast skies have been looming over our area for the last entire day, but we even saw some flurries earlier. But on the topic of precipitation, we're going to be seeing high pressure take aim at our west. So we're going to be seeing some dry conditions for most of the next couple of days. Today, we saw partly sunny skies with a high temperature of 31 degrees and a low tonight of 14 degrees. We're going to be seeing partly cloudy skies, a waning gibbous moon, but that's almost going to be full. We had our beaver moon last night. So if you can get outside and have a break in those clouds, you might be able to see it. And tomorrow's sunrise being at 7:25 a.m. Let's toss it back to Reese.
Thanks. Ohio University is receiving recognition for proving work is more than just a game. The J. Warren McClure School is ranked as one of the top 25 public augmented and virtual reality programs nationwide. The Animation Career Review places the program 22nd on the list, making it one of the only 2 Ohio schools to rank this high. Director Dr. Chip Linscott says faculty's constant development of new projects helping those in need is what sets the school apart.
Virtual reality and games to teach people things and to help serve underrepresented populations and things like that.
One of the school's recent projects is a game to help students struggling with ADHD learn time management and study skills. They are also working with the Ohio Attorney General's office to create virtual reality trainings for law enforcement. The training will help teach police officers how to handle difficult situations.
A Massachusetts-based company is building a new manufacturing facility in Weirton, West Virginia. Boston Metal received a $50 million federal grant to help build the new metallurgical facility. The project is expected to create 200 high-tech jobs. The facility will be used to manufacture ultra-pure chromium, metal, and high-temperature alloys. West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin says these products are critical for advanced energy technologies.
Still ahead, a cyber attack shuts down a water treatment plant in Pennsylvania. And hostages on both sides of the conflict in the Middle East have been released.
Absolutely frigid temperatures today, but will that continue? We'll find out more in my full weather when Newswatch returns.
Tonight at 10 on WOUB.
This is for you.
You got grit, I can tell you never gonna quit. No, not even for a split second. Counting all your blessings. You got personality like Christmas got his presents, and I like it. Yeah.
I always want to create something that's gonna mean something.
That's fabulous. And I like it. Yeah.
Dare me to do something.
Don't stop, honey, gotta do your thing. I like it. Don't stop, honey, gotta do your thing.
I really want to show the world how beautiful our culture is.
There was more similarities than differences.
It makes us happy. It makes us feel good.
Yeah. So spread those golden wings. We're gonna shine like the stars. Got the
It is part of our unique story. All of us together.
This is our special time.
I like it.
Salute!
Honey, gotta do your thing.
We're going intergalactic.
Don't stop, honey.
We're going to make memories.
I like it.
In 1976, Neil Diamond took Sydney by storm.
Yes, she does, my mama. Beautiful. Right. Come on, baby. Right.
Relive the experience with Neil Diamond. Thank you, Australia. Thursday at 8 on WOUB.
Federal authorities have launched an investigation after a hacking attack on a water authority near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's the latest in a series of cyber attacks targeting critical systems like public utilities and healthcare. Laura Geary has more on the recent attacks and who authorities believe may be behind them.
I'm surprised, but I'm not shocked. I mean, we've seen attacks from nation-state adversaries on a lot of our infrastructure.
Pennsylvania Representative Chris DeLuzio reacting to one of the nation's latest critical system cyber attacks on an out-of-the-way municipal water authority in his state, in the city of Aliquippa, about 35 minutes northwest of Pittsburgh. Local officials say an automated control system manufactured by the Israeli-based company Unitronics shut down Friday. When it was rebooted, a message appeared on a monitor screen saying,
"Our system had been hacked by legal right from the cyber avengers. Down with Israel."
The Department of Homeland Security is now investigating the attack by the self-proclaimed cyber avengers. Federal officials say it's a pro-Iran, anti-Israeli group that has claimed several similar attacks on X, formerly Twitter. Aliquippa authorities confirmed that no customers lost water service, as workers were able to operate the affected system manually. But it's one of several U.S. infrastructure alarm bells in recent days. Since Thanksgiving Day, several hospitals in East Texas and New Jersey have been forced to scale back patient care after separate suspected ransomware attacks crippled critical technology systems. Authorities in both states are working with federal investigators to find out what happened and resume full operations.
We've got to make sure we're giving local governments and state governments the means to protect themselves against bad actors who are sophisticated, countries like Iran, China, North Korea.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Over the last 9 months, cyber attacks have also forced ambulances to be diverted from hospitals in Connecticut, Florida, Idaho, and Pennsylvania.
Hamas and Israel are releasing more hostages today as part of the ceasefire agreement between the two. The agreement enters its 5th day after a 2-day extension was announced. Hamas released 12 hostages and Israel released 30 Palestinian prisoners. Israel says 10 of its citizens and 2 Thai nationals were freed by Hamas, returned to Israel this evening, followed by the release of the Palestinian prisoners. Mediators met in Qatar to extend the ceasefire beyond Wednesday. And the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is set to visit the region this week with an eye in it to extend the truce.
Today is Giving Tuesday, a big booster for organizations that rely on the spirit of the season to drive end-of-year donations. A number of charities will encourage online donations, and scammers are ready to take advantage. Karen Kaifa is in Washington with what to know this holiday season.
Amid the bustle of holiday shopping and spending, it's also a good time of year to give back. Unfortunately, scammers will deploy common tricks to take advantage of the busy season.
There's so many things that we interact with online and things that we do online, and that goes for both work and personal life, that, there are a lot of ways to get people to act.
Hank Schless of cybersecurity company Lookout says phishing scams, emails or text messages encouraging a recipient to follow a link to a fake website that looks like the real deal can prompt a consumer to give away critical information like logins and passwords.
Once they steal that, they'll go and basically, they have these programs that can automatically try your credentials across thousands of other websites, including banking websites and things like that.
As Americans make end-of-year online donations to support causes and groups, the Federal Trade Commission warns scammers often put pressure on consumers to donate right away, often using the name of a group that seems legitimate to cause confusion. Before giving, seek out websites that evaluate charities like the Better Business Bureau's Give.org, or check a charity's standing with the IRS. And use a credit card or check for donations. The FTC says asking for cash or gift cards can be signs of a scam. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
Be wary of scammers this holiday season, whether you're giving donations or buying gifts for others.
That's been the story all day today. Oh, okay, thought that was going to happen again. Sorry. Cloudy and cold, that's been the story all day today. But will that continue? We'll find out right now. So we're actually having some high pressure take aim at our west right now, and that's going to be holding off pretty much anything that's going to be coming our way for the next couple of days. But currently here in Athens, it's still 24 degrees with overcast skies and calm winds. Earlier we were having some more impacts with wind chill, but right now it's not going to be as devastating to at least our open skin. But national temperatures, I want to point out some temperatures that are similar to ours and ones that are kind of crazy to think of. In Chicago and Pittsburgh, that's pretty normal. That's pretty close to us. 20 degrees and 24 degrees, with a little bit warmer Detroit and Louisville both at 30. But take a look at this weird one. Orlando, 54. That is so odd for this time of year, especially because Miami is 68 right now. You can see this cold snap is not just affecting us, but is affecting everywhere in the U.S., at least our side of the U.S. right now. But today here in Athens, a high of 31 with partly sunny skies, and our high today was actually 19 degrees below our average of 50 for this time of year, specifically today, and our low today of 14 degrees. We also want to take a look at our 24-hour temperatures and watch us just absolutely drop off from the 30s to our 20s right around 6 a.m. Absolutely insane today, but today's low tonight is going to be 14 degrees with partly cloudy skies, that waning gibbous moon, and 7:25 a.m. as our sunrise. Tomorrow we're going to be seeing a big warm up, mostly sunny skies with a high temperature of 42 and a low temperature of 25. And we can visualize that a little bit better with our surface analysis. You see this warm front pushing through our area because of this high pressure system that's down here in our Carolina coast. And that's going to actually push out into the Atlantic Ocean, but push that warm front up to our northeast. But there's going to be more high pressure. I'm saying that a lot today. There's going to be more high pressure coming in from our south and our west that's going to be affecting us into Thursday. However, that's going to move out of our area by Friday. And we can see that better with our 7-day outlook. But Thursday, high of 53, a low of 36. Friday, we're going to start seeing that high pressure leave and that low pressure system make its way in with widespread showers expected, a high of 48 and a low of 38. But we're going to warm up a little bit to 57 and 40 on Saturday, as well as 56 and 37 on Sunday. But into our weekend and into next week, we're going to be seeing some rainy conditions and that, but some milder temperatures compared to today. Back to Jack.
Thanks, Lexi. About this time last year, Ohio was experiencing a spike in flu and cases of respiratory virus RSV. Mandy Gaither has more on what to look out for this year as the flu season approaches.
Across the U.S., flu, COVID-19, and RSV are spreading.
It is that time of year, and we know that all of the respiratory viral illnesses are starting to ramp up.
Flu cases are rising across most of the country, especially in Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and South Carolina. While outpatient visits for flu-like illnesses are lower than this time last year, they're still higher than the previous 4 seasons. COVID-19 hospital admissions and emergency department visits are also on the rise again after a few weeks of decline.
I was in the hospital on call this holiday weekend, and I'm certainly starting to see more people being hospitalized, mainly with COVID.
Dr. Kristen England with Cleveland Clinic says it's not too late to protect you and your family through vaccination. More than a third of adults and children have gotten a flu shot this year. When it comes to the new COVID-19 vaccine, nearly 16% of adults and just over 6% of children have gotten it, and nearly 15% of adults ages 60 and up have gotten the new RSV vaccine.
Vaccinations will always be the key way to prevent the transmission of any of these respiratory viral illnesses.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. England says if you suspect you may have COVID-19, it's still important to do an at-home test so that you're aware if you have the virus and can take proper precautions to avoid spreading the illness.
Coming up in sports, the Federal Hockey Lancers play their home opener in Stuart. And for the latest on Newswatch, check us out on Instagram, X, and YouTube.
Hi, I'm Rick Steves. Join me this holiday season for a colorful musical celebration of Christmas all across Europe. We'll explore festive markets, enjoy glorious local choirs, toast tasty holiday traditions with family and friends, and find some time to play in the snow. Along the way, we'll have some fun in the studio, sharing the latest tips about traveling smartly. It's my 2-hour holiday special, European Christmas.
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
I'm Billie Jean King. Women's sports changed the whole world.
With your voice, you leading the way. The greatest mystery that Agatha Christie ever created was herself.
What do you suppose it's like falling down a rabbit hole?
We have much to be grateful for. We have much to be grateful for.
Have you ever had that feeling? You're exactly where you belong.
May we all keep the meaning of the season within our hearts.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah.
classic Call the Midwife specials with PBS Passport, leading up to an all-new holiday special on Christmas Day.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Hi, this is Marion Ross. Please join me and Gavin MacLeod in A Classic Christmas.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Thursday at 9:30 on WOUB.
Welcome back. I'm Peyton Brooker. The Federal Hawken girls basketball team played their home opener against Nelsonville York last night. The Lancers began the season in the win column and their return to Stuart as they dominated the Buckeyes 73-51, giving them their second win of the season. The Lancers were led by freshman Brindley Cottrell, who scored 24 points and was 3 for 5 on Beyond the Arc. Also contributing for Federal Hawken was sophomore Takira Walker with 16 points. For the Buckeyes, senior Era Levy put up 23 points and was 10 for 13 at the free-throw line. Assistant coach Tristan Payton credits this defense for this very young team for increasing the intensity.
We got our schedule. We knew Nelsonville was going to be one of that early tests, and it's just been our defense. Our defense gets us going this year. We're playing really high intensity. Every girl from the starting five to the kids that come off the bench are bringing the intensity. That sparks our offense to a good night.
The Lancers' next game is on Thursday as they travel to Belpre. And for the Athens Bulldogs, the girls were unsuccessful in their trip to Vincent to take on Warren. The Warren Warriors were led by Aubrey Pepper, who scored 22 points and recorded 14 rebounds and 4 steals in the 46-33 victory. The Bulldogs last night were led by Quinn Banks and Asa Holcomb, who led a combined 23 points in the Athens loss. Athens are hoping to rebound as they will play their home opener on Thursday as they take on Minford. And out in Sugar Grove, the Trimble girls basketball team were victorious in their season opener against Byrne Union, winning 46-16. Riley Fouts led the Tomcats with 15 points. Right behind her was Mackenzie Ng, who recorded a double-double with 12 points and 12 rebounds. The Rockets last season went 25-1, making it all the way to the district semifinals, as the Tomcats were only 5-15, losing in the first round. The Tomcats will have their home opener this Thursday against Southern. And the game is scheduled to tip off at 7 o'clock in Gloucester. As for the rest of the Tri-Valley Conference, many schools will also be on the court for girls basketball. First, the Benton County Vikings were unsuccessful against Portsmouth West, losing 58-34. The Belpre Golden Eagles won their season opener against Meggs to 47. The Eastern Eagles were on the road last night, losing 88-51 in a tough Tim Valley team. And finally, the Alexander Spartans traveled to Racine, and they were victorious against Southern Tornadoes, winning 55-22. And as for the TVC boys basketball, many of their season openers will take place this Friday and Saturday as well. The Athens Bulldogs will travel an hour away to take on the Marietta Tigers on Friday. The Meggs Marauders will also be on the road on Friday, making their way to Galley Academy. On Saturday, the Eastern Eagles will play their season opener against the fellow TVC Ohio opponent, the River Valley Raiders. And finally, the reigning TVC Ohio champions, the Benton County Vikings, will begin their season at home as they will take on the Logan Chieftains.
Thanks, Peyton. A look at a black hole in the center of our galaxy and how it's affecting space-time. But first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Did you know that you can donate property to WOUB Public Media? I'm WOUB Community Engagement and Membership Manager, Sherry Russo. Donating property is a great way to support WOUB, and you may even claim a significant tax deduction. Properties in any location, condition, and format are eligible for donation to WOUB. Back taxes, mortgage balances, and deferred maintenance do not prohibit your ability to donate. Our program covers all loans, liens, commissions, and closing costs, so long as there is equity in the property. If you have a land, residential, or commercial real estate asset that's unused or costing you money, consider giving back to the station you love by donating it to WOUB.
And the process is easy. Go to WOUB.org and click the Support tab to learn about property donations, along with many other ways to support WOUB.
In 1976, Neil Diamond took Sydney by storm.
Yes, she does.
Live the experience with Neil Diamond. Thank you, Australia. Thursday at 8 on WOUB.
A supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy is spinning rapidly and altering space-time around it. That's according to a study published in October in the monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society. Space-time describes how we see space. It makes up the fabric that curves in response to massive celestial bodies like black holes. This black hole is called Sagittarius A. A team of physicists observed it 26,000 light years from Earth using NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory telescope. Now let's take it to Lexi for a final look at weather.
Thank you, Reese. And currently here is at 24 degrees with overcast skies and calm winds. And tonight we're going to be seeing that still very cold low of 14 degrees with mostly clear skies, and tomorrow's sunrise at 7:25 a.m. But we're going to have a lovely waning gibbous moon with those mostly clear skies. You will be able to see that tonight. And tomorrow we're going to be seeing mostly sunny skies with a high of 42. We're going to see that big warm up based off of today, and a low of 25. And we're going to see that warm front make its way up into our northeast. So our friends up there that were experiencing that little cold snap from Winter Storm Kate are also going to have a bit of a warm up like us. But for our 7-day, we're going to see that warm up take effect tomorrow and even more in Thursday. But by Friday, we're going to have low pressure make its way in, and we're going to be seeing rainy conditions for the rest of the week and the beginning of next week. Hope you enjoy the rest of your week and maybe your rainy weekend.
Thanks, Lexi.
You know, Lexi, I don't know whether to be happy or disappointed that we're getting warmer temperatures, but it's gonna pour the entire weekend.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna be fun.
What makes it worse is the wind. The wind is what gets me.
Oh yeah,
on top of the chilly weather.
I'm literally wearing 2 pairs of socks right now. It is so cold outside.
And I don't know how that is for sports, but I'm sure it's not a welcome sight.
Oh, it's a terrible sight. It really is.
All that rain. Well, I mean, it's crazy. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. For Lexi Bell Polsey and Peyton Brooker, I'm Jack Green.
And I'm Reese Thompson. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org or follow us on social media. Have a great night.
Support comes from Goldsberry Wealth Strategies in Athens and Parkersburg, focusing on helping people achieve a life well lived with a custom strategy. Information at goldsberrywealth.com. Raymond James Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA, SIPC.